let's learn how to solo using dots. Okay. If you've learned any scale yet, you've probably learned the most famous, which is the blues pentatonic, right? Okay. That actually originates from right here. Okay. Now, when we do this scale, if we want to overlap it and run our progression, we can slide it up one fret or we can slide it down a fret and play it. Okay, but how do I know where I can go from there? Okay, my pentatonic originates from here. I'm overlapping with starting here. I can come down and finish here. So 1 and 2. Okay, the secret, that's going to be your next note. So 1, 2, pinky down. There I go next. Well, how do I find this note? Well, remember, these are the same. They're octaves. Okay, so you could spend the time and try to figure it out that way. But if you remember from back at this, we start behind the dot, skip a dot, come to that dot, and it's every dot thereafter, right? And then we learned that we could do this, right? Out of tune, that's all right. We learned that we could do it this way and that our open strings are the same as behind the dot, and then these two they're all the same, right? So now we can take that concept, okay, and remember how we figured out where this note was. Go 4, slide up 2 frets, and put that finger down, okay? So if we know this note and we want to find the matching on the lower string, well, we put our pinky down, we slide down 2 frets, and then here. So we just do the opposite of what we found, okay? So I know here, here, and now I know here is where I want to go with my pentatonic, okay? So here, here, go down 2 frets, and then first finger, right? It's the same thing we did up here, okay? Well, remember, octaves, okay? So here's where I can go, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoopsies. Okay. So that's how we find out where it is we're going to go. Okay. And once you start recognizing these patterns and you start learning notes, it's going to become easier and easier. Okay. Now this works for any pentatonic, and I'll show this on paper real quick. Because this is more a review at this point with a video that I've already done regarding that, okay? So we can do the same sort of thing, right? It doesn't matter. We can start here, okay? Right? Now, am I going up or am I going down? It doesn't really matter, okay? Let's just go up. That's the note I want. Okay, so I have to slide down a fret and then here. Okay, so now I found it there. I know these are octaves, right? So So this will work, like I said, for any pentatonic, but it helps to know where exactly it originates from. Okay, because as we change our shape, we change the context and we change what we can put with it and where we can't. Okay, so let me show this on paper really quick. All right, so what we started out doing was E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G. And then we did D, F, G, A, C, D, F, G, A, C, D, E. Okay. And then we went in between because that's where that pentatonic comes from. Okay. And so since I know I can go up or down one and overlap it, then we figured out that that's going to be our next spot. Okay. So it comes here, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C. Back to that. All right. If we want to do it for B, then we can go down a half or 1 fret or up a fret. Okay. So that's going to make it an A or a B. Well, we slide this up, okay, to go with it. So I've got A and B and an E. For G flat, I've got F and G, and that B becomes a C now. Because remember, we have to use the one right next to it, all right? So it does help you to eventually learn the notes, okay? But you can take this pattern we can see here, okay? That's our block to start with. That's our next block to start with. Then the next notes that come all the way across, that's our next block to start with. So now we can take these three and we can shift that, okay? We can shift it all over the place, and that's where we start. But that's where knowing this comes into play, okay? Because here's a pentatonic, then here's another pentatonic shape, then here's another pentatonic shape, then another and another. And so by knowing which way we can go, we don't necessarily have to know the notes, okay? We can find our sound. We know the pattern to find where our other octave notes are, okay? So now we can use that and we can figure out where it is that we can go, all right? So hopefully that makes a little more sense as far as where you can and where you can't go, how to find it, and, you know, use it based off of your dot system. So that's part of the reason that they put them there, okay? All right, peace and love, stay strong, rock on. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, leave a comment and I'll try to explain it more in comments. But this is probably going to be my last video in this series until I can get a book format roughly put together. And then it's music time. So, all right, later days.